Hey Taurus, and welcome to your March 2023 new moon reading. It is a new moon in Aries, and this is a collective reading for Taurus sun or rising signs. We have a huge astrological week happening this week. First of all, happy Equinox to everyone out there. Happy Equinox. That is happening on Monday the 20th, and these readings should be out shortly after that. They'll be up a little bit before the new moon so that you have them ready. But the equinox will be happening on the 20th at, I think it's like 2:25 p.m. On the West Coast. So lots going on. And okay, let's just pause for a second and say this is not an astrological video, so I'll make this super quick, but just know that there is a lot going on this week. Besides that, we have the new moon in Aries on Tuesday the 21st at 10:23 a.m. and then we have a couple of days later, we have Pluto ingressing into Aquarius in the tropical in the tropical form of astrology. I think most people that look at these videos are following tropical and not sidereal, so I'm speaking for tropical. But that's happening just before sunrise on the 24th at like 5:24 a.m. So just know that there is a lot, and that's just the more prominent stuff that's happening this week. There's a whole lot of other stuff going on. So I really am hoping that these readings provide some guidance. That's why I wanted to get them up at least a day before the new moon on the day of the equinox, so that you guys have something to help guide if you're feeling a little adrift, right? So we're going to take a look at, for this new moon, similar to what we did last new moon, but we're going to take a look a little bit differently this time. We're going to focus this. It's a collective reading, but I feel like I've gotten some feedback of people saying that it's really helpful for them to have these cards to kind of determine, well, it's a general reading, but what area of life should I be applying this to? So, and again, it's collective, right? This is not, we're not going to hit the mark for every single Taurus out there. So just know if this is your message, if it resonates, and then great. And if it doesn't, well, really the best way to get the most accurate kind of reading is to get a personal reading, because then it's just your energy and it's like one-to-one. With all that information is in the description box. So we have the second house that is showing up for you for this new moon, right? And funnily enough, the second house actually is ruled by Taurus. So interesting, right? So we have Taurus showing up in the second house, and has to do with our resources, the way that we're able to resource things for ourselves, the way that you can think of this as like the way that you're able to source finances, food, like provide for yourself, get resources for yourself that are needed for living, right? So that's basically what area of life this is. This also has to do with food, with like our senses, right? The way that we interact with the world in a very sensorial way. So it's like all of the five senses. You can think of good food, good libations, good music, good like things that really are enjoyable to our senses. That's another thing to look at here. So very much about the body. This can have to do definitely with the body. I wouldn't say it's the house of health, but I would say that it does have to do with our very like the physicality of our being, right? So just know that those are the areas that you can look to applying this, right? Your physical body, your food, your resources, financial and otherwise, your senses, right? How you provide for yourself, right? So this is the area of life that we're looking at. So let's also take a look at, which deck do I want to use? I want to use this deck. All right. I have several decks around me, you guys. So I want to take a look at, which areas of, like how can we relate this back to the area of life that we're looking at for you, Taurus? So where should you be focusing your, I'm feeling this card. Where should you be focusing your time, energy, and attention? How can you be focusing your time, energy, and attention with regard to this area of life from this new to full moon? Remember, new to full moon is waxing energy. It's building until we get to that full moon, and it just pops, right? It bursts. So we have the Seven of Wands. I feel like this is definitely an upgrade in your values, an upgrade in the way that you like either your resources, period, or the way that you go about resourcing those things, an upgrade in your body perhaps. But the reason I say upgrade is because when we're looking at the Seven of Wands, what we see here is like you've reached kind of like Seven of Wands is like you've got the vantage, like the higher ground, right? You've got the better position. So you've like had to like do everything, battle your way to this position where you now have the high ground, and you have to kind of hold that ground. You got to hold the line. And so in order to do that, in order to elevate, to upgrade, to up level yourself on any of these different levels that we're talking about, to upgrade with regard to the way that you go about resourcing. This can be like the work that you do in the world, right? The way that you are able to resource your finances, like how do you make money? How do you provide for yourself? The kind of food that you eat, how you treat your body, like how are you taking care of your body, right? All of these different kinds of things. And we're looking at upgrading and like the work that it takes, where you put your time and attention in so that you can really get to a place where you have maybe accomplished that. But not only that, like you got to hold that. And it always takes, you know, something different for us to be able to hold a new level, a new upgrade, right? You make it to this new place. It's very easy to slip back unless you are really holding the line until it becomes second nature and it becomes fully integrated. So I hope that that makes sense about where to put your time, energy, and attention. And I want to just get one more card to take a look at your like spiritual advice that's coming through. So I'm feeling this deck here. Just any additional spiritual advice that we get. So I'm actually feeling this card here. Sweet. I love that. So yeah. So then we see that we have the Sun card coming through, right? This is just really returning to a place of like, oh gosh, it's vitality, right? Think about, I mean, look at how free this kid is, right? Bare, you know, buck naked on a, you know, bareback horse and in the sunlight and sunflowers. And it's just like, it's, you know, free from responsibility, free from everything, just this beautiful enjoyment of life. This is a Sun card, so it represents the vitality. It represents your vitality as a Taurus and being connected to these themes anyways, right? If your Sun is in Taurus or your rising sign is in Taurus, this is definitely something that I would look at as like, well, what, you know, when we look at your, like, for instance, if we were looking at your natal chart, we would be looking at like, how are you nourishing your Sun? How are you nourishing your vitality, your energy for life, right? If you are feeling like you are really glowing and your sense of like self and who you are is really like beaming out into life, awesome. You're doing an amazing job. Hold the line with that. If you're not feeling like that, then it's time to upgrade, right? It's time to upgrade these areas of your life. And I feel like you're being called, like all of this feels really like congruent to me, right? So if you want to like a larger picture and like what to tie this into, I would say check out your monthly for the monthly reading for Taurus for March, right? So I would say check out March 2023. I'll have that up here on the screen. Always, if you want to get a more personalized reading, description box down below will have that information. Besides that, I would say I'm going to just in a few more days have the April readings out. So that's also going to be coming out. So you can keep your eye out for that. If you want to make sure that you're notified, you know, make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know when the new videos come out. So I hope that this was helpful. I'm wishing you so much ease from now through the next few days, especially, but definitely for this new moon phase. All right. I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.